the midnight hour, baby!
The Midnight Hour is a 1985 made-for-TV horror comedy directed by Jack Bender. It stars Shari Belafonte, the daughter of singer and actor Harry Belafonte. A very young Geordie LaForge pre-Next Generation LeVar Burton, Peter DeLuise, and Dee Dee Pfeiffer, younger sister to the more famous Michelle Pfeiffer. The plot follows high school friends who inadvertently raise the dead on Halloween, leading to a night of supernatural chaos. The film features Wolfman Jack as a special voice actor and includes musical numbers and special effects inspired by Michael Jackson's Thriller video. Despite mixed reviews, it has achieved a cult following. The Midnight Hour starts with Phil Grenville, Lee Montgomery, having breakfast with his mother, Janet Grenville, Sheila Larkin. During their conversation, his mother gently nudges him to muster the courage to ask the girl he likes to the upcoming Halloween dance. This sets the stage for Phil's character, revealing his shy and somewhat reserved nature, as well as establishing his crush. Later, at school, the Halloween spirit is in full swing. Melissa Cavender, Shari Belafonte, and Mary Masterson, Dee Dee Pfeiffer, engage in a game of Halloween-themed hangman, humorously titled Ghouls Just Want to Have Fun. Outside, Vinnie Davis, LeVar Burton, and Mitch Crandall, Peter DeLuise, are pitching pennies and making light-hearted jabs about the older generation of New Englanders. As the teacher arrives, the lesson transitions into a spooky tale about the town's history and the legend of Lucinda Cavender, a witch executed centuries ago. The teacher explains that Lucinda cursed the town before her death, swearing to return for revenge. This revelation is particularly intriguing for Melissa, as Lucinda is her ancestor. Seeking more Halloween thrills, the group of friends decides to break into the local museum after school to borrow some costumes for added flair. They are drawn to the authentic period outfits of Lucinda Cavender, a notorious witch, and Nathaniel Grenville, the witch hunter who condemned her. The museum's wax figures, dressed in these historical garments, captivate their imaginations. Driven by a sense of adventure and mischief, they don the costumes and head to the local cemetery, the site of Lucinda's grave. At the cemetery, the group stumbles upon a mysterious scroll inscribed with an ancient spell. Their curiosity piqued, and with a mix of excitement and recklessness, they decide to recite the spell aloud. Unbeknownst to them, this incantation is powerful magic that unleashes a centuries-old curse. As they finish reciting, the ground trembles, and eerie mists begin to rise. Suddenly, Lucinda Cavender and a host of other supernatural entities are resurrected, bringing chaos and terror to the once peaceful town of Pitchford Cove. Phil, seemingly resigned to always stay a virgin, decides to embrace the Halloween spirit and dress up in his costume. Whatever this is, as he leaves his family's house to attend the party, he accidentally hits a freshly resurrected dead man with his car. The reanimated corpse, understandably upset that his evening stroll has been interrupted, reacts with surprise and anger. Phil is already nervous about the night's events, and oblivious to the undead wandering the streets. This encounter marks the beginning of his journey through the night's chaotic and supernatural occurrences, ultimately leading him to confront his fears and step into a more courageous role within the group. Shaken but still oblivious to the true extent of the night's supernatural events, Phil continues on his way. He then stumbles across a very beautiful Sandy, dressed in her cheerleader uniform. Unbeknownst to Phil, Sandy is one of the undead, adding to the eerie and surreal atmosphere of the evening. This unexpected encounter with Sandy, who seems strangely out of place yet captivating, further deepens the mystery and excitement of Phil's Halloween night. Meanwhile, the other friends are also preparing for their Halloween party. Mitch Crandall, Peter DeLuise, faces a tense moment at home with his father, Judge Crandall, Kevin McCarthy. The judge is furious upon discovering that Mitch broke into the museum and stole the witch hunter's costume. Their argument escalates, leading Mitch to storm out of the house. Unbeknownst to Judge Crandall, one of the town's most notorious criminals, whom he had sentenced years ago, is also back from the dead and causing mischief nearby. This resurrected villain adds a touch of spooky touch to the evening, stumbling around confusedly as he tries to get his bearings in the modern world. He seeks revenge on the judge and finally gets it. The party is soon underway, and all the kids seem to be enjoying themselves, unaware that ghouls and other undead have started infiltrating the celebration. Mitch and Vinny are making their rounds, meeting and greeting their fellow classmates and, unknowingly, some of the undead as well. Meanwhile, Phil is trying to build up the courage to ask Mary to dance. When he finally does, she shoots him down, leaving him frustrated and annoyed. He decides to step outside for some air, missing the increasing supernatural presence inside. As this unfolds, Melissa is confronted by her long-dead ancestor, Lucinda Cavender. In a dramatic and eerie encounter, Lucinda attacks Melissa, turning her into one of the damned. This dark twist adds to the escalating chaos, blending horror with the party atmosphere. The teens are now unknowingly mingling with the undead, creating a tense and unpredictable environment. The party continues with a mix of comical mishaps and genuine scares, as the teens remain oblivious to the true horror unfolding around them. They are about to face a night full of unexpected challenges and eerie encounters, setting the stage for a blend of supernatural chaos and teenage drama. Phil, feeling dejected after being turned down by Mary, leaves the party in frustration. As he drives along, he unexpectedly encounters a disheartened Sandy, still wearing her cheerleader uniform. Sandy, now aware that she has long been dead and resurrected by the witch's magic, is grappling with the reality of her situation. Despite her confusion, she realizes she has been given a second chance at life. Sandy sees an opportunity to experience things she missed out on in her first life, particularly the chance to fall in love. Sensing that Phil might be the kind of person who could offer her this chance, she decides to keep the truth about her undead status to herself. She hopes to simply enjoy some normal, fun moments with Phil. Their budding connection, however, is abruptly interrupted when a menacing werewolf appears, adding to the night's escalating chaos. The werewolf's sudden presence forces Sandy and Phil to confront the dangers of the supernatural forces now at play, further complicating their already surreal evening. Realizing the severity of the situation, Sandy decides she must tell Phil the truth about the ritual and the danger now posed by the townspeople. She explains how the spell has brought not only her but other creatures back to life, turning the townspeople into potential threats. This revelation puts their encounter with the werewolf into perspective and underscores the urgency of their predicament. With newfound determination, Sandy and Phil understand they need to stay alert and find a way to survive the night amidst the growing supernatural menace. Their shared goal deepens their connection, as they navigate the treacherous landscape of their once familiar town, now filled with undead creatures and otherworldly dangers.
It's on to get down with, about 6 feet under. Get there.
Ooh, I love this song.
I just want to take a moment to highlight a brief segment from the lively song that Shari Belafonte performed the midnight hour. Her energetic and whimsical performance perfectly encapsulates the film's playful spirit, as well as the other cast members. This fun and catchy tune, combined with the festive Halloween atmosphere, illustrates that the midnight hour is designed to be a light-hearted and entertaining experience, meant to be enjoyed without taking it too seriously. This musical moment is just one example of how the film embraces its campy, humorous tone, making it a delightful watch for fans of 80s horror comedies. Phil, now realizing what he and Sandy must do, decides to go to his dad's dental office to make silver bullets using his dad's dental supplies. As they work on crafting the bullets, they discover that Phil's father has become one of the undead. The realization adds a sense of urgency to their task, as they understand the full extent of the curse's reach. Meanwhile, Mitch is narrowly saved from Melissa by what he initially thinks is his dad driving drunk and trying to crash the party. However, to his horror, Mitch realizes that his father is also undead. In a tragic twist, the undead father kills his own son, adding a dark and shocking moment to the night's events. Phil and Sandy, armed with their makeshift silver bullets, drive through the transformed streets of their town. They witness the once familiar streets now overrun with creatures of the night, ghouls, zombies, and other supernatural entities roam freely, adding a surreal and eerie backdrop to their mission. Realizing the extent of the chaos and understanding that they are partly responsible, they know they must get to the party to end the curse they and their friends unwittingly started earlier that night. Determined and focused, they speed towards the party, dodging the various horrors that have taken over their town. The urgency of their task heightens as they navigate through the eerie, creature-infested streets, knowing that the fate of their town rests in their hands. The adventure continues with a blend of 80s nostalgia, horror, and humor, as Phil and Sandy prepare for a final showdown to break the curse and restore normalcy to their once peaceful community. Phil and Sandy finally reach the party, only to find the house seemingly abandoned. The eerie silence and dim lighting create an unsettling atmosphere. As they cautiously enter, they quickly realize it's a trap orchestrated by Melissa, who has now fully embraced her undead nature. Inside, Phil's friends, now turned into undead minions, ambush them. The house transforms into a battleground as Phil and Sandy try to fend off their former friends. The tension is high as they navigate the perilous situation, seeking a way out. As they attempt to escape, they rush back to their car, only to discover their teacher has snuck inside, desperately begging for help. However, to their horror, they soon realize that she too has become a vampire, adding yet another layer of danger to their predicament. At the cemetery, Phil and Sandy realize that to end the curse, they must reseal the parchment using parts of the witches' and witch hunters' costumes. They quickly gather the necessary items and begin the process, hoping to reverse the dark magic that has taken over their town. As they carefully seal the scroll, nothing seems to happen. The silence is palpable, and doubt begins to creep in. Sandy, understanding the gravity of the situation, knows that her newfound freedom comes with a price. To truly save Phil and the rest of the town, she must sacrifice herself. With a heavy heart, Sandy recites the final passage of the curse. Her voice echoes through the cemetery, carrying the weight of her decision. As she finishes the incantation, a powerful force sweeps through the area, and the supernatural chaos begins to dissipate. The creatures retreat, and the town slowly starts to return to normal. Phil watches in awe and sorrow as Sandy, his newfound friend and love, fades away. Her sacrifice bringing peace back to their community. The night's events leave a lasting impression on him, a reminder of the bravery and selflessness that saved their town. The Midnight Hour wraps up its tale with a satisfying blend of humor and heart, perfectly capturing the essence of an 80s teen horror comedy. After a night filled with unexpected supernatural encounters and lighthearted scares, the characters come together to face the ultimate challenge of reversing the ancient curse they accidentally unleashed. Phil and Sandy's journey through the chaos brings them closer together, highlighting themes of bravery, friendship, and sacrifice. Sandy's heroic decision to give up her newfound life to save the town underscores the film's message about the power of selflessness and courage. As the spell is broken and the town returns to normal, the characters are left with a newfound appreciation for their community and each other. The film concludes on a hopeful note, reminding viewers that even in the face of chaos, the bonds of friendship and the spirit of adventure can triumph. The Midnight Hour leaves its audience with a nostalgic glow, celebrating the fun and thrills of Halloween in a way that only an 80s classic can. It's a perfect reminder of the joy that comes from not taking life too seriously and embracing the spooky, whimsical side of the season. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the spooky, fun-filled world of the Midnight Hour on Midnight Movie Reviews. If you enjoyed our lighthearted romp through this 80s horror classic, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more nostalgic movie reviews. Let me know in the comments what your favorite part of the film was, or if there's another hidden gem you'd like me to cover. Until next time, keep the popcorn popping and the scares coming. Happy viewing!